Hello and welcome to The Gist. I'm your host, Chris Vetrano, here every week to break down all the things that are happening in pop culture and interviewing people that make it pop. On today's show, we are counting down 24 pop culture predictions for 2024, and we're going to revisit this later to see how many of these actually come true. But this is just my opinions. So, not all of these are things that we know are percolating. This is just what I think might happen in this new year. So if you didn't catch, we counted down the top 10 pop culture moments from 2023. And fresh off of that, it's time to think about what could this new year hold for us. And so that is what I am delivering in no particular order. These are not in any kind of like special order. I'm just going to kind of give it to you on what I've been sort of thinking about, what I think might be coming, and what we might be on the hunt for in terms of our 2024 pop culture moments. And then at the end of the year, of course, we're going to break down the top 10 moments that happened. And some of these might actually be on there. Let's find out. All right. So kicking off our 24 pop culture predictions, it is going to be an NSYNC reunion. Okay. I feel like this one is not that far off. I think, in 2023, we got a lot of hints that maybe NSYNC was back. They released a new song for the Trolls movie. They showed up at the VMAs. People said that it was coming, but then the band sort of said, no, there isn't any other plans. I think Joey Fatone said in an interview, there are no other plans. What we got was what we got. And I think on the tails of all of the sort of Justin Timberlake saga and scandal that came out after Britney released her book, I think that they're in need of some cash flow, let's be honest. And so I think we will see an NSYNC reunion of some sort in 2024. And speaking of reunions, I also feel that we are on the verge of a long rumored reunion from my beloved Spice Girls. Melanie C already celebrated her 50th birthday this year and brought Emma Bunton out, but I believe that we are getting very close to seeing our Spice Girls together, all five of them, including Victoria, in some capacity. Now, I'm not saying this is a full tour, but I think that in 2024, we are going to see the Spice Girls reemerge in some sort of capacity. It is an Olympics year. They have done it before at the Olympics, so maybe we get them again there. I don't know. I think they're going to take some big stage in 2024 in some way, and we're going to hear about it in 2024, and I'm very excited. Also, I think that this may be the end of an era for Twitter, and we now call it X, and some of us have not adopted that because, well, yeah, I mean, why would we? But I think Elon is either going to sell X or he's going to rebrand it because clearly nobody is picking up on this X. But I think so many celebrities have left it. I think so much is kind of coming out about how bad the company is being run with Elon at the helm. And I think that it's going to probably die. I think that we're going to see the death of Twitter, which I think makes way for, the rise of either a new social media platform or Threads, which is Meta's version that they released last year. So I think that will happen. Also, Rihanna, she delivered her Super Bowl performance last year around this time, and we all thought that it was going to be followed by music, and instead it was a surprise release of her baby that she was dropping later in the year. And so I think that 2024 is going to finally give us new Rihanna music, and potentially I could see her have the sound of the summer. I mean, when 2023 really belonged to Beyonce and Taylor, I think 2024 could belong to Rihanna. So let's fingers crossed that we actually get some new Rihanna music. Also, and by way of breakups, if you listen to my last episode, there was a ton of breakups in 2023. I think that we are going to see some big breakups in this upcoming year. I think one that is percolating is Justin Timberlake and Jessica Biel. I think that with everything that went on with the Britney Spears news, earlier, he had been sort of seen on set of one of his movies with his co-star cozying up to her. So there were cheating allegations. I think that the Britney stuff, though, may have been the straw that is going to break down this marriage. And I mean, time will tell. He is also potentially, people are saying he's releasing a new album this year. And so it will give him good fodder because, as we know, he likes to exploit his relationships with women. And so, I think that this may be the year that we see JT and Jessica Biel call it quits. Also on that list, I don't see longevity for Miss Ariana Grande and her boyfriend Ethan. I think, or some people call him SpongeBob, I think that this is a short-lived, and I honestly sort of see it happening before the Wicked premiere. And I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be a relief to a lot of fans, but I think it's also going to be something that's going to be played out in the media quite a bit. And so I think Ariana and Ethan are not going to make the distance, and also not going the distance, Kylie and Timothy. I don't understand this one at all. Kylie Jenner and Timothy Chalamet, they have been, seen on the red carpets now. They have, or I guess they haven't actually walked the red carpet, but they have shown up at award shows. They've been sitting together. We've seen them canoodling. They've been at, the Renaissance tour, and they've been at various things that they are obviously together. But I don't know. I don't see this relationship going much further. And so I think we're going to see that breakup happen. And also, as speaking of the Ariana and Ethan breakup, I also think everyone's been hyping this Wicked movie, and now it's 2 films and we have to wait a year in between the releases. It's becoming so big and so hyped. I think that the movie's going to flop. I really do. I think that there's too much hype. It's not going to live up to it. I would hate that. I don't want that for the movie because I love Ariana and I actually love Wicked too. But I don't know. I think that we're going too deep into it, and I think it's just not going to be. I don't know that it's going to be fully full-fledged Cats, but I think that we're not in for this big spectacle that we think we are. In the romance department, I see romance brewing for Camila Cabello and Drake. The two were seen out and about, and so this is already maybe happening, but I think we're going to get confirmation that these two are in fact dating, and potentially, I would love to see this be the relaunch of Camila's career and some new music, and maybe even featuring Drake. And so I think that could be incredible. I think we're going to see HBO cancel Euphoria this year. I think I had talked about it on a previous podcast that it's so strange that this show is it's about high school kids, and they've delayed it now so far. We lost Angus Cloud last year, and one of the stars, and I think that we are maybe too far gone, and so I think HBO is going to cancel this, and we probably have an ending, but I don't even know if that's gonna green light. So that's my prediction there. Also, Shawn Mendes. So where has he been, right? There's been a lot of talk that he's been hanging out with this various groups of people. All of them have some maybe potentially religious affiliation. I think that what's going to be revealed this year that Shawn Mendes is in fact in a cult. And it's going to come out in some big way, and he's going to have his People magazine cover story of him being saved from the cult. And so I think that we're going to get that this year from Shawn Mendes. I also think that in political news, I don't want to guess who's going to win the election. I don't even want to think about it, if I'm being quite honest. But I do think that this is the year that Melania will finally dump Trump's ass. And we're going to see maybe a rebirth of Melania Trump in a very different way. And maybe she'll actually speak. Maybe she won't. But I do think that she is going to finally sever ties with the Orange Goblin. And then I think that this is the year that Hailey Bieber is pregnant. I think that the Biebs, they are going to have a child this year. I think it's about time. And yeah, very excited for that. Also, I think Sydney Sweeney, who will continue to be sort of one of the it girls to watch, I think she will end her engagement. I think the fact that that engagement is still going after all of the romance rumors with Glenn Powell, I just think it's one of those relationships that is just sort of waiting to come to an end. She's too hot and too famous and too she's too much of an it girl to be tied down right now. I think that she's going to realize that, and we are going to see the end of that engagement. And then what else is on my list? Oh, Northwest. Okay, I think it's only a matter of time, right? I feel like Kim keeps pushing North to her socials and really wants North to be a face. And I think that this year we're going to get something from North. I'm like kind of feeling like it's going to be an EP or something, like she's going to explore music. Maybe it's a makeup line, maybe it's hair extensions, maybe it's something, I don't know. But that Kris Jenner's over there just trying to put all of her fingers to the keys and try to figure out what deals she can close for North. But I think that this is going to be the year that we actually get something from Northwest, and I'm going to say it. I think it's going to be music. So the Northwest EP coming at you soon, hopefully. Also, new music. I'm torn on this one, but I want to put it out there. I want to manifest it. New music from Britney Spears. I think that the world is ready. I know she has said she is not returning to music. I think that was a reaction to the news breaking that she was working with Charlie XCX and Julia Michaels, and that she was asking all these people to come in to help her with music that I don't think that she personally had done. I don't think that she asked them to do that. I think that her teams and her labels were asking people to submit songs for a Britney project. And I think it rubbed her the wrong way. And she reacted and said, I'm not going to do music anymore. Stop asking for it. But I think that it's Britney, bitch. This is her life. She loves to perform. She loves music. And I think when she, gets a little bit more healthy and a little more beyond the conservatorship, she will realize that she is in control of making the music that she wants to make. And I think that we will get something this year. I'm hopeful. So new Britney music is one of my predictions. Also, I think we're very close to this one. Kyle Richards from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I think she will come out as bi. I think that, we're obviously following the story of her and Morgan Wade, that they claim to only be friends. She has announced her separation from Mauricio. But I think that, in watching Beverly Hills this season, it's pretty clear there are some feelings. This is more than just a friendship, and I think we're going to get confirmation of that in 2024. I also think that we're going to finally learn what the hell is going on with Scooter Braun. Why did all of his clients fire him? We were waiting for this news to come out, and it never did. And I think that there is either a documentary or a big expose. There is something that has been in the works. And I feel as though Scooter Braun scandal is upon us in 2024. I think that we are going to finally learn what is really going on and why all of his clients jumped ship. And it's going to finally be revealed. Also, I think that Gypsy Rose. I think we're going to see a podcast or a reality show from Gypsy Rose. I don't think that she's going to go away quickly. She's got an incredible media team behind her. She was out of jail and was on all the shows, all the circuits, doing all the podcasts. She is, I don't think she's going anywhere. I think that she's got somebody that has set her up. Obviously she has a book that she's promoting. And so I think following that, we're going to see more from Miss Gypsy Rose. I think this one is a given, but I feel like I wanted to put it out there. is that Taylor finishes all the Taylor's versions. We have Reputation and we have the debut. And I think that, everyone keeps saying Reputation is coming very soon. I think Taylor is giving us a little bit of a break, but I think when she kicks off the Eras Tour again, she will announce Reputation. And then I think following that, we will get the debut. Now, I'm going to add to this prediction because I think some of you probably rolled your eyes and said like, oh, that's so obvious. I think that we will not only get those two, but I also think that we are going to get new Taylor music. And I'm not just talking about the vault tracks. I think that she is going to drop her new record that I have this feeling she's been working on. She's got too much going on with Travis Kelce and this romance. She's got to like start putting that out there in the universe. She tells her romance and her love stories through song. And so I think that we are going to get that. Now, I'm not saying it's a full album. We might get the single at the end of the year, because that leads to another prediction that I have, which is I think that we will find out this year that Taylor Swift is going to be the 2025 Super Bowl halftime show. And I think that this is going to be her year. We have heard that she's been offered it before and has passed, but I think what she will do is she will finish all of the Taylor's versions, come out with either a new single or a new album, and it will drop around the time that she can promote it with the Super Bowl. And so that is my sort of double prediction there. Taylor's not going anywhere anytime soon. And then we have also in the Taylor space, the Taylor and Travis stuff. I've seen a lot of predictions of like them getting engaged. People think that they were going to get engaged over Christmas. Then I've heard that they're going to get engaged over the Super Bowl. And then I've heard that they're going to get engaged this summer. I've heard all kinds of rumors about them getting engaged. I don't think that they're going to get engaged. I don't think that Taylor is going to rush into anything like that, but I'll be surprised. But I do think that we are going to continue to see this relationship go to the next level. I think that we're going to see Taylor and Travis walk the Met Gala red carpet. I think that we're going to see Travis Kelce really become a staple in fashion, kind of following in this sort of Taylor, Travis, being spotted everywhere. I think that we're just going to see a lot more of these two, and they're going to continue to be a very forceful couple. And so that is my prediction there. Again, I don't think it's an engagement. Maybe I'll be surprised. Maybe it'll happen at her Super Bowl performance. Who knows? Crazier things have happened, right? And then I've got my last two. I'm already on 23 and 24. Can you guys believe it? My last two. The first one is kind of a wild card, but I had to throw it in there because I've been saying this for a couple of years. I think that this is the year that Khloe Kardashian and Scott Disick finally date. I mean, if you are a Kardashians fan and you have followed them, this relationship, every time that the two of these two people are on screen, it's like there is chemistry there. And now, Khloe maybe looks at Scott more like a brother. And so maybe that stands in the way. But I don't know. I think that the two have just been waiting for their moment. And I think in 2024, let them have it and let them have at each other too. You know what I'm saying? So that is my prediction there. And then my last one, again, it's in no particular order. This is just something that came to mind. I think this is the year that OnlyFans shuts down. I think it either shuts down or it takes shape in some other kind of way, because it is pretty wild. I mean, when you really think about this, like what OnlyFans became in 2023, and maybe before that, I don't know. I know that like I had originally heard about it with like Bella Thorne joining, and then obviously like Larsa on Real Housewives of Miami. She talks about how she sells her feet pictures. We've seen like Sonia Morgan and Dorinda Medley joining from Housewives. Like there are some wild people on OnlyFans, but also there are like people that like I even know that are like now joining OnlyFans, and it just seems like very strange that we're putting ourselves out there in that kind of way. And no shame, and no, if this is what you want to do with your life and your career, I'm not here to judge you, and I'm not here to shame you in any kind of way. You do you, boo. You know what I'm saying? But I think that the platform itself is a bit problematic. I think it's making it way too easy for people to put things out on the internet and and again, I don't know how it all works, but I imagine that once it's on the internet, it's on the internet. Just like, we always hear those stories of like, be careful what you put on Facebook. Because when Facebook first started, I mean, I was dumping my entire digital camera feed into an album on Facebook, and I didn't care what I was doing in the photos, right? I didn't care how many drinks I had and if I was slobbering all over myself. And, that was what you just did at that time, and it made it way too easy. And then all of a sudden people started being like, those photos can like resurface anytime, and they can end up on other sites, and they can, be found by future employers, or, and it's like, it became really wild, where then everyone started to scale back. Like, what are we actually putting out on the internet? Well, some of us. And and I think that we're at that point with OnlyFans, where it's just like people are just dumping stuff into that. I think like in the pandemic, people were like, what am I going to do for a side hustle? And I'm bored. And wow, people are making like apparently millions on OnlyFans. And I should go on there and, I've got a hot bod and let me go like show it off. So again, if that's what you want to do as a career, do it. More power to you. But I think that the platform itself is going to come under fire in some kind of way, and it's either going to die or take shape in a completely different way. And so those are my 24 predictions for 2024. I rambled through them very quickly, but like I said, let's see what the year has in store, and because 2024 is upon us and we are in it. But that is it. Those are my 24 predictions. What do you guys think? Make sure you drop comments. Find me on socials. I'm at CM Vetrano on all the social platforms. And let me know. Did I miss the mark? Is there something that you think is going to happen this year? Let me know. But we did it. 24 predictions for pop culture in 2024 in under 24 minutes. And this is another episode of The Gist. But until next week, it's been Chris Vetrano signing off. Have a good week, guys. Bye.